Todd's an influencer. Millions of people follow him.
Millions of followers. I know. Okay, I'm gonna get my numbers up.
We got 15 million followers that are hungry for content.
We gotta get our numbers up.
I don't want to go on Instagram or make TikToks. I don't want to be an influencer.
Yes,
I just want
you do. A brand.
Hi friends, this is Laura, aka Lulu Sketches, and we are back for my 5th annual Cheesy Christmas Romcom Ranking. Thank you to everyone who requested I do another ranking this year, all 2 of you. These are my least popular videos on YouTube, and I'm going to put way too much time into this. But first, I'd like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I use Squarespace for my own portfolio. Squarespace has the perfect templates to make your portfolio look professional and organized. I really enjoy their minimal templates because they make my art stand out, and everything's very customizable, so you can make your website fit your style. And the templates look great whether they're viewed on a desktop or mobile device, because you never know what kind of device somebody's gonna use to be your portfolio. Someone might just scroll through it on their phone, and you have to be ready for that. Plus, the automatic image scaling is a game changer. My paintings are all different shapes and sizes, but they all fit together like a nice collage on my portfolio. And that means you can see the full-sized, uncropped images just by scrolling through. It doesn't require a lot of clicking. I have a discount for you guys to start your own Squarespace portfolios. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/LauraPrice for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Back to the video. This year I have 7 cheesy Christmas rom-coms that I will be ranking. If you're new here, you might be wondering, what is a cheesy Christmas rom-com? It's that category of Christmas rom-coms that Hallmark releases 40 of each year. It's like a regular Christmas rom-com, but there's usually some ridiculous setup to bring 2 people together, or a big city character is back in their small hometown trying to keep a local business from closing down. Extra points if this business is a Christmas tree farm or an inn. Sometimes Santa makes an appearance. He's usually a sneaky side character granting wishes, and the actors are overacting. Sometimes I found this year's movies on Netflix and Hulu. It's a mixture of Netflix originals, and some of them seem to be Lifetime movies that were just released on streaming. Here are my 2022 Cheesy Christmas Romcoms ranked from worst to best. At number 7, the worst cheesy Christmas rom-com that I watched this year is The Holiday Fix-Up. The story revolves around Sam, an HGTV host living in the big city, returning to her hometown to save an inn. And naturally, she is paired up with her hometown ex, the tall and handsome Coop, who is a contractor. In order to boost her career, Sam has to get her social media numbers up, so she's Instagramming the renovation process. There is a social media theme in all of the movies I watched this year. There's always a character having to sacrifice real-world time to the evil social media to help their business.
Her social media is through the roof, millions of followers. I know. Okay, I'm gonna get my numbers up. I'm gonna start posting more.
Or there's a side character who's an influencer who just sucks. We get it, writers. You don't like social media. And oh my God, the love interest in this, Coop, the contractor. He was in another Christmas rom-com that I ranked in 2018. It's called Holly's Holiday. In that movie, he played a mannequin come to life.
An Yves Saint Laurent linen, a Saint Louis crystal.
It's an insane movie. Like, it was so weird that I ranked it really highly. Anyway, we start this movie by showing how successful Sam is at her interior decorating job and how her career is a whirlwind. And we're introduced to Coop walking into this cafe. Okay, so Sam, our interior decorator, is clearly the love interest for Coop in this, but he walks into this cafe and there's already another really pretty girl in there, meaning those 2 must be related, and they will tell us that immediately, so we as an audience don't feel that she is a threat.
Seriously?
Sorry, I'm trying to be a good little sister.
Wow, first line. That's a theme in these cheesy Christmas rom-coms. The dialogue explains the storyline to you instead of showing you through, film. We find out that Coop is Sam's ex-boyfriend because he tells us that immediately too.
Sam and I dated a long time ago.
They're really feeding us these story points quickly.
You own a reclaimed wood shop.
And we know his career now too. Thanks, dialogue. Also, thanks for this not-so-subtle reference.
Jenny sounds more like a entertainment correspondent.
Yes, we recognize the actress playing Jenny, who is a well-known entertainment correspondent in real life. We have our typical cheesy Christmas rom-com cliches, such as Sam tripping and falling into the hot ex's arms, the hot ex showing Sam the correct way to do something romantically. The main reason this movie gets my lowest ranking is the sheer amount of metaphors. Throughout the entire film, they keep not so subtly comparing their relationship to a house renovation, and it gets old very quickly.
What? When something's broken, you're just done with it forever?
Some things can't be fixed.
So as long as it looks good on the outside, it doesn't matter what the real story is.
Something special about holding on to something from the past. Not giving up on it and figuring out a way to make it work.
Like Coop always says, sometimes it's worth it to hold on to something and make it work.
Sometimes you have to let go of something you love, if it's the right thing to do.
It's exhausting.
Things don't always work out the way you wish, even on Christmas.
Next at number 6 is Christmas with You. I watched this for Freddie Prinze Jr., obviously. You wouldn't get it from the title, but this movie is all about music. Why would you name it Christmas with You when so many music puns exist? Here's the gist. Angelina, a pop star, escapes from her daily life to grant a young fan's wish in small-town New York, where she not only finds the inspiration to revitalize her career, but also a shot at true love. We have our main character, Angelina, who you might recognize from Dexter or Lucifer. I recognize her from both. Her boyfriend likes social media, so he is bad.
Baby, we got 15 million followers that are hungry for content.
We gotta get our numbers up. We have 15 million, we need 200.
Angelina and Freddie Prinze Jr., I don't know his character's name, are brought together through the power of music. Their songwriting together seems really bad, but as an audience, I think we're supposed to believe it's good.
They say home is where the heart is. It's actually pretty good. Then you repeat it, da, 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 and it lands here.
That's really good.
This movie is boring, but I sat through it so I could see Freddie Prinze Jr. walking in slow motion in a tux. Okay, listen, it's so 90s, just mute the movie and then turn on the song Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Almost makes this movie worth watching. You can skip the rest of the movie though. Freddie Prinze Jr. is mostly just making a bunch of weird faces. Next on our list at number 5 is Falling for Christmas. You knew this one was gonna be on my list. You knew it. This movie stars Lindsay Lohan and the blonde guy from Glee. The actor's name is Cord Overstreet. That's an insane name. Lindsay Lohan plays a spoiled heiress who loses her memory in a skiing accident. She falls off a cliff, and Cord Overstreet's character finds her. There's also a struggling inn they need to save. See, falling for Christmas because Lindsay falls and she's also falling in love. The holiday fix-up because they're fixing up an old inn and they also get fixed up together. They're puns, they're on theme. That's how you title a cheesy Christmas rom-com. Thank you, but I digress. So we have our main character, Lindsay. She's rich. Her boyfriend likes social media, so he is bad.
Todd's an influencer. Millions of people follow him.
Trending.
This guy is absolutely chaotic and he is in the entire movie. Unnecessarily. So we start the movie, Lindsay and Cord Overstreet crash into each other at a hotel. Cord spills a drink on her designer jumpsuit.
My Yagi!
Then this little girl makes a Christmas wish that Lindsay Lohan will fall off a cliff, and Santa obliges. Santa woke up and chose violence. Side note, this movie has some truly awful visual effects. After Lindsay gets into her accident, Cord finds her and brings her to the hospital. And he doesn't recognize her from the day before. Like they just ran into each other the day before, right?
But we have procedures to follow when we're dealing with a Jane Doe.
A Jane Doe?
You got no identity, no money, and no place to go.
I have a place.
Okay, so this hospital is letting this girl with amnesia go home with a man she doesn't know. That's wild.
Does he look familiar to you at all?
No, he's definitely a stranger.
Can you imagine if the nurse was just like, who the f are you? This is a Jane Doe? No, you can't take a patient home with you? Why don't you worry about your struggling in and get the f out of here? And then the movie just ends. So Cord Overstreet owns the struggling lodge, and people kind of shit on it, acting like it's a small, old bed and breakfast. But this is a huge lodge with really high ceilings, immaculate Christmas decorations. This looks like the inside of a Pier 1. There's literally a Christmas tree in every room. This is probably why the lodge is having money problems. It looks like they're spending their entire income on Christmas decorations, and they didn't really decide how her memory loss works in this movie.
Thank you.
Oh!
And this movie gives us our cliche moment, of course, the almost kiss. I feel like the guy didn't ever really commit to it. Also, Netflix cannot resist getting meta in these Christmas rom-coms. There's always a character watching another Netflix cheesy Christmas rom-com within the rom-com. It's every single time. And I think there's a character wearing plaid in every single scene in this movie. Next on the list at number 4 is Catering Christmas. Our storyline. Caterer Molly Frost is hired by perfectionist Jean Harrison for the renowned Harrison Foundation's annual Christmas gala. But things get complicated when she falls for Jean's nephew, a photographer with no desire to take over the foundation. Okay, so our main character is Molly, a chef who owns a catering company, and her last name is Frost because this is a cheesy Christmas rom-com. Our love interest is named Carson, an event photographer who is the nephew of the rich lady with the foundation.
You don't normally come until the morning of the Christmas gala.
No, my show in Milan ended early, so.
I'm glad.
Rich lady wants Carson to take over the foundation.
Tell you what, next year, when you take over the foundation, you can change things up however you like.
He doesn't want to, he wants his cousins to do it instead.
I am not taking over the foundation. One of the cousins will be much better.
Listen to this aunt subtly shitting on her nephew's art career.
The cousins have too many responsibilities as it is and are already stretched too thin.
Dude just arrived back from a photography job in Milan, but his cousins are too busy to take over the foundation. Okay, side note, the acting is really bad in this.
I'm glad.
Things get big for Molly's business when the rich lady wants Molly to cater an event for her, the gala. Except first, she asks Molly to come to her house for an interview.
Are you available to come for an interview this afternoon at 3 o'clock?
Oh, an interview?
I was confused about this too. I was like, why does she need to come to your house so you can ask her questions about her chef experience? Like, just ask her right now?
Jean Harrison might want us to cater the Harrison Foundation Christmas Gala. We have to be there at 3. I think she might want us to make her a meal.
Wait, what? I did not get that from the conversation. Wouldn't the rich lady have been clear about that? You would have needed to prepare a menu beforehand, bring ingredients and tools, know what kind of kitchen you're working in. That would require a lot of planning.
Jean would like you to prepare her a 3-course holiday meal.
Oh, okay, so we are cooking, and it's 3 courses. Molly is given this information after she's already arrived at the interview, and she's empty-handed. She doesn't have ingredients or tools. Where did you get those ingredients? This is not an episode of Chopped. You don't just work with whatever you're given that day. This is a professional chef. Anyway, Molly meets the love interest Carson when he enters the kitchen, and she assumes he is her new sous chef. And he looks like he's never held a knife before. Who would chop celery this big? And turns out Molly has some competition. Another catering company arrives after her for their interview. And see, they brought their own ingredients. They have coolers full. Anyway, with the help of Carson, Molly gets the gig. When the big event comes, Molly changes into a red dress. But why did she change into a formal dress for the party? Girl, you are catering this. You need to be wearing your chef's uniform. You haven't served a single meal yet. Number 3 on my list is Christmas at the Drive-In. Okay, I couldn't resist this one because I recognize the main actress from Love at the Christmas Table, which ranked highly in my 2018 video, despite some insane parts.
You love to play the whole dead mom card. But the truth is, you don't even remember her. Taking walks down to the graveyard to see where she's buried, but it's not because you care about her. All you're thinking about are the 2 plots next to her, where your dad's gonna be buried and where you're gonna go right next to him.
Oh my God. And yeah, that's the guy from Schitt's Creek. I like to credit his success to Love at the Christmas Table. Anyway, back to Christmas at the Drive-In. This movie is about a property lawyer named Sadie who finds romance during the holidays while trying to save her town's local drive-in from closing down. Okay, we're 2 seconds into the movie and the first location is a Jingle and Things. This town can't keep a drive-in theater afloat, but apparently it has a Christmas-themed gift shop flourishing year-round. We find out our main character, Sadie, broke off her engagement a year ago.
It's been almost a year since you broke off your engagement. Maybe it's time you put yourself out there.
And quit her big shot attorney job to move back home.
Eve, I don't practice anymore.
You were one of the best property law attorneys around.
In town, she spots her ex from high school, Holden. Holden's family is the owner of the drive-in, but since his dad passed away, Holden has decided to close down the drive-in and sell it to this fancy lady. This lady and the town mayor want to knock down the drive-in to build a distribution center. However, Sadie really wants to save the drive-in, and here's her argument.
What I'd really like to talk to you about is Christmas.
Christmas?
The McCarthy Drive-In is like Christmas. Christmas is a beautiful tradition, and so is the drive-in.
What? This is a drive-in theater only open during the summertime? Comparing it to Christmas is a stretch. Sadie, you are a property lawyer, and Christmas is the best argument you came up with? Basically, Sadie has to prove to the town that the drive-in has value, and to do that, she may just need a miracle.
Are you sure you weren't giving up before the miracle?
It would take a miracle to make everyone happy, and it's a little late in the day for miracles.
And there's our miracle.
For number 2 on our list, finally, we have a cheesy Hanukkah rom-com. The main character may look familiar to you. She is the daughter of Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman. The love interest might look familiar too. At first I thought this was Ben Platt or like a Ben Platt knockoff, but it turns out it's his brother, Jonah Platt. But he's playing a character named Ben.
Ben?
Hi.
Anyway, here's what the movie's about. Sarah is headed back to her hometown for Hanukkah with news of her engagement. Upon her return, she finds out that her dad has a big hospital bill and they're going to lose the family bakery. So they have to save it by Hanukkah. 1 minute in and we're supposed to believe that they're in Paris. It's extremely poorly done. There was 0 effort put into this set. She's just wearing a beret, holding a croissant, and he proposes to her by putting a ring into a macaron. There was literally no point in this scene happening in Paris. It's never brought up again. They never go back. Her fiance, Chad, is a walking red flag, and he has no interest in her Jewish culture.
How many nights of Hanukkah are there?
Nice try. That's a tricky one. It changes every year.
What? No, the dates change every year based on the Jewish calendar.
Nope. You said December 8th.
I said there were 8 nights of Hanukkah.
It makes no sense they're together. He doesn't seem to have many redeeming qualities. His name is literally Chad. In Paris, she offered him a bite of croissant and he said he was on the paleo diet.
Croissant?
No, my trainer has me on a paleo diet.
This is one scene later and he's eating bread, and later he also eats a bagel. Get your story straight, Chad. In defense of Chad though, I kind of actually liked him when he wasn't being a total piece of shit. He gives little presentations.
Can we keep the chit chat to a minimum?
Sorry.
And when he catches his fiance holding hands with another guy, he's just like,
Ah.
and he seems to be genuinely trying to save the bakery until he tries to steal the bakery and sell it from under them. Yeah, that wasn't great. This movie would actually be pretty fun and entertaining if it wasn't for the guitarist who keeps narrating the story, actually appearing in the storyline to interrupt the actors.
Talking about kissing ain't kissing. Talking about kissing ain't kissing. Talking about kissing ain't kissing.
This singer shows up 6 times. But in the end, of course, Hanukkah prevails.
Worst Christmas ever.
And my favorite cheesy Christmas rom-com for this year, at number 1, is Christmas on the Farm. This movie is everything good about cheesy Christmas rom-coms. It has amazing cliches, an unrealistic plot revolving around Christmas, and they have to save a farm. Plus, the actors are really good. They're really playing into it. They understood the assignment.
Babe, I'm calling. You no answer. Did you run here? Yes.
Let's get into this plot. It's kind of a lot, so pay attention. Our main character is a New York woman named Emmy who grew up on a farm in Australia. Her Aussie mother, Clementine, is a health guru who creates like herbal remedies. She wrote a lot of journals. Clementine, the mother, passes away. The family is out of money and they're going to lose the farm.
You really want to make this work? You need to write this book. In the first person. What? You become your mother.
So Emmy, the New York daughter, calls herself Clementine and publishes Clementine's journals as a wellness book. It's a big $1 million deal, but before she can get that $1 million deal, the publisher wants to visit the farm and meet the author over Christmas. It's the perfect, stupid setup for a cheesy Christmas rom-com. 1 minute in, you know exactly what you're getting, and it's chaos.
I saw a crocodile this big!
I kept thinking this main actress was Jennifer Coolidge. I've been watching a lot of White Lotus lately, so that's probably why. And then we have our love interest, the son of a publishing CEO. I love this guy. He kind of has Hugh Grant vibes, and he thinks he's in an episode of Succession. I love that for him. The 2 main characters meet pretty much at the beginning of the movie and have a drunk one-night stand, which is a nice change from the usual will they, won't they? They will, right away. Then Emmy finds out the publisher wants to come to Australia to the farm to meet the author, Clementine.
Ellison London and her son are coming to Emu Creek Farm Springs for Christmas. What?
And it's randomly gonna be over Christmas.
Before they close the deal, London has the right to meet you. With an invitation to Christmas in Australia?
And there we have our Christmas plot. It's over the top, it's perfect. So since Emmy is going to have to impersonate her mother Clementine, naturally it's time for a shopping trip. This dressing room montage was really the icing on the cake for this movie. They didn't have to do this cliche, but they did it for us. And the first outfit Emmy wears as Clementine is fire. I love this orange dress. The publishing CEO and her son show up in Australia to meet Clementine, and naturally the son is the same guy that Emmy had a one-night stand with.
Son, hi.
Oh. It's a little bit funny, actually. There's a sort of a wild story.
This must be the famous Clementine.
And he somehow doesn't recognize her because she dyed her hair and is faking an Australian accent now.
It's so good to meet you.
Yes. Yes, good to meet you too. I am the famous Clementine Walker Sr.
What is with these guys not recognizing women they just met? Overall, the movie is really fun. The side characters are really charming too. First, we have Leslie, who is ridiculous.
You, your husband, and your daughter.
I don't have a husband or a daughter.
Or a mother, I know, so sad.
Leslie!
Then we have Emmy's cousin and his husband.
He smirks uncontrollably when he lies, you know, that annoying smile.
Right.
I'm...
Is something wrong with his face? He had tooth surgery just about a week ago. Last week.
Oh, no.
It's painful.
Yes, darling.
Sorry, avocados.
You ever seen a pregnant cow?
And the child actor playing Clementine's fake daughter.
Oh, Mummy, I didn't recognize you on account of that horse kick to my face a few years back.
Because, like, who the hell talks like they're on Downtown Abbey when they live in the frickin' Outback?
It's Downton Abbey.
And we still get our cheesy cliches, the accidentally falling into the guy's arms. Plus, there's baby animals in this movie, and they totally steal the show during dramatic scenes. The ending was actually really funny, but I won't spoil it here. I'd recommend you just watch this one if you're in search for the perfect cheesy Christmas rom-com. And that is my cheesy Christmas rom-com ranking for 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and happy holidays. Bye.
Hi.